Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Please join quickly. Let us settle down fast. I hope most of you have joined. I'm just seeing if there's anyone else waiting in the waiting room. Another 1 minute, please. Let me see.
Good
We
morning,
start
ma'am.
at least at 9. Yeah, good
Good
morning.
morning, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, another 1 minute we shall wait and then start. Okay, we are going to continue with our exercise 3.2 because the next class only I'll start the algebraic solutions. We still are in the graphical solutions. So I hope you could complete the, somebody is telling me, yeah, good morning there. Okay, I think we will start. We don't wait any further. If there is further participants joining in, we will admit them later on. Thank you, my dear. Okay, so good morning and welcome back. I did not record, so I am repeating this. I hope you have completed the activity which was given for the weekend. You could draw the graphs of those three sets of linear equations which was given to you. I hope we will continue from here. So we'll take up a few more problems, and before I end the class, let us discuss on the graphs that we have done for the record, because I want to tell you how you have to do it in the record also. So I'm taking a few more examples that we will graphically solve so that it will help you to complete the activity in case you have not done it so far. So we are at exercise 3.2, page number 49. We are in the first problem because the first problem I skipped and I went to the third one. So now in the first main, if you are looking at the problem, I'll go back to the board. We have to frame the equation and then solve it graphically also. So I'll get back to the board. Please look into your textbooks. This is exercise 3.2 that I am discussing. So I'll read the first problem now. I hope the board is visible. Yeah, later
Yes,
on I
ma'am.
shall move it as required. I did not remove that conditions of consistency because I'm going to again use it here. So the other part of the board is where I shall be working. So I'll just turn it around a little. Yeah. Okay. So still people are getting admitted. Just 1 minute. Yeah. So we are at the first problem. Please look at the problem as I'm reading. From the form the pair of linear equations in the following problems and also find their solutions graphically. So the linear equation is not directly given to us. So sometimes even in the board exam, the situation will be given, you should know how to convert it into a system of linear equation and hence go and solve it graphically. So this is also eligible for a section B. So we must be ready to frame the equations also. So let us look at the problem carefully first. Because it is a problem on linear equations in two variables. That is a set or a pair of linear equations in two variables. Definitely there is a necessity to assume two variables and also frame equations, a pair of equations in two variables. So let us see what is the situation given to us. 10 students of class 10 took part in a mathematics quiz. If the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys, find the number of boys and girls who took part in the quiz. So there is a quiz, the total number of students participating is given. And of course, there are boys and girls both participating in the quiz. The question is, I want to know individually how many girls and how many boys have taken part in the quiz. So what do you think you will assume here? Because there are
Ma'am,
two
the number
variables
of
that you
boys
can
is
bring.
X,
And which are the two variables which is required
number
here?
of boys and Y.
Yes, it is the
X
number of
and Y.
boys and the number of girls. So we will say let the number of girls be X and the number of boys be Y. That's the first assumption we will start with. This is the first way, first problem. Let the number of girls be X and the number of boys be Y. So I have assumed both the variables X and Y here. So let the number of girls be X and the number of boys be Y. Now the first condition given to me, that is the total number of students is X. So the first condition will give me the first equation. So write it as first condition. You will tell X plus Y equals 10. Do you understand how it is the first equation? Because it is said the total number of students are 10. And of course, the boys and girls together will make the total. So X plus Y will become equal to 10. Then what's the second condition given? That if the number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys. So I know the number of girls is X. The second condition, number of girls is 4 more than the number of boys. So number of girls is X. That is 4 more than the number of boys. The number of boys are Y. So to Y if you add 4, you get X. That is the number of girls. So now you have two equations both in X and Y. Do you think you will be able to graph their solutions? So that's exactly what we will do now. The first part where you have used the conditions given, assume two variables and frame the equations in two variables. You must get two equations in two variables. Only then you can solve the equations to get the solutions of both the variables. Now we are doing it graphically. Now further when we move around in the chapter, we will take up the algebraic solutions. But we should be thorough with the graphical solutions before we move on to the algebraic from the next class. So now as I have told you, you have to write X in terms of Y or Y in terms of X. Give values for X, find values of Y, or give values for Y and find the values of X. So this is what you have to do. So we will take one by one. X plus Y equals 10. Or I can write X is equal to 10 minus 1. So here I will give values for Y and find out what are the corresponding values of X. This is a very, very simple way of doing it. So let me still bring the laptop little down. Yeah. So I give value of 0 to Y. So what will happen to my X? X will be 10 minus 0, which will be equal to 10 cents. So X is 10. Now when I give, yes, somebody is wanting to say something, yes? Anything to tell me? Okay, let me continue. Next, when I give the value of X as, sorry, Y as say 2. So 10 minus 2, your X will be 8 when Y is 2. I'll give some value, say X is equal to negative 2, let me give. So 10 minus negative 2, which will be 10 plus 2, which will become 12. So I just gave positive and negative values to balance the equation on both the quadrants. That's it. So these are three values which I got very easily. Now next one, already the equation is in this form. That is X is equal to Y plus 4. So X can be got in terms of Y. I don't even have to do any rearrangement. I'll give values for Y and find out the corresponding values of X. So first I'll give Y is equal to 0. So my X will be 4. If I give 1, it will be 5. If I give negative 1, put there as negative 1, positive 1, 4, negative 1 will be positive 3. If I give a 2, it will become 6. So that's very simple. Now I think you should be able to graph the equations of both X plus Y equals 10 and Yx is equal to Y plus 4. Now before you always start with the graphical solution or you get the values of X and Y, please check the equations. If there is a common factor between all the three terms. If there is a common factor, you can always divide it throughout and then start the graphical solution. But always remember the original solution is what you have to write on the graph. Suppose, for example, you have this equation like this, 2x plus 4y equals 12. If this is my given equation, you can see that 2 is a common factor for all the three terms. So this equation can be divided throughout with 2 to get x plus 2y equals 6. Both the equations are the same. Alright. So using these values you can find out x and y. That is the second equation. But when you plot it in the graph, this equation will be written on the straight line. Not this. Because the original equation was this. Somebody was asking this doubt in the group. So I think I have clarified here for all of you together. So that the same doubt need not be asked again and again. So when if you have a common factor between the terms, then it is fine. You can always divide it, do the solution, graph the solution also. But finally, I have asked you to write it. When you get a straight line graph, you draw the graph. And on the graph or the straight line, please write the original equation. Now this also quickly I will show you. Yes.
Ma'am, is it wrong if we find ordered pairs for the original equation?
Yeah, you can do it. I am only asking you to divide because the calculation will be simpler. That's all. Nothing else. You can do it with the original equation also. No harm. Only thing the calculations will be slightly multiplied by 2 or whatever factor. I leave it to you. But when you graph the straight line, please see that you write the original equation. Don't write the reduced form of the equation. If you want to do it with the original equation itself, nobody is going to stop. You don't have to worry about it at all. Alright. So it is left to you because somebody was asking this doubt, I was just clarifying. Alright, now this graph, please do it quickly. Even I will do it here to show you exactly how to do it in the record I am telling you. Same way in the classwork as well as the record. These calculations can be shown here also. You can write down. If y equals 0, then x will be 0 plus 4, which will become 4. Like this you can write. If y equals 1, x equals 1 plus 4, which has become equal to 5. If y equals negative 1, then x equals negative 1 plus positive 4, which will be positive 3. If y equals 2, then x equals 2 plus 4, which will be 6. So all these calculations will be shown even in the record when you do it. That is why you have the unruled side there. And over this, the graph will come. Only in this edge, you will paste the graph. So the graph will open like this. And below that, you will have all this tabulation and the calculation done. I hope you understand. That's why I shared both the pages. What was under the graph also, I have shown it to you. I hope you have understood what you have to do. So get the graphs ready. Do all the calculation on the unruled side of your graph, sorry, your record notebook, and then only this, that is the left hand side edge of the graph, you will paste. So that you can lift the graph like this and see how the calculation is done, and the graph will come just over this. Is that clear how you have to paste it, or do you have any doubt with the records? You can still ask me because I'm going to continue with the next problem also. Now graph it quickly. Let me see if at least one of you is coming with a solution. What will be the solution of this set of equations? Is it a consistent, inconsistent, or dependent consistent? What is your A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2? Your A1, B1 and C1 are 1, 1 and negative 10. Your A2, B2 and C2 are 1, negative 1 and negative 4. You should write it in the general form.
Consistent.
Yes, you will get A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. That means there is a unique solution for this set of equations. So graph it and find it on your own. Do you think you require help to graph these solutions here? Or should I show it here? If you want me to show, I will.
No, ma'am.
You want me to show the graph also? Can you do the graph on your own? Because the ordered pairs are already there. You just have to plot and find out. And tell me which is the point of intersection between the two lines. Actually, the point of intersection should happen to be 7, 3. You will write solution set. On the graph, you will write it as solution set equals 7, 3. You will see that the two lines will intersect at 7, 3. Please see if you are able to do the graph on your own. Because I don't think I have to spend time on that. This is a very, very easy graph. You can take the values of x as 1 centimeter equals 1 unit. Y also you can take 1 centimeter equals 1 unit. Easily you should be able to plot. And the solution set will be 7, 3. That means the two straight lines will intersect at 7, 3. So your graph will look something like this. Very roughly I am showing you. You should be able to plot all this properly. Please see that you mark the x, x dash, y dash and the origin. I only have 1 point in the negative y, no points on the negative x. So I don't want the negative x at all. Maybe I can take it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And in the y, I want negative 2 and 1 maximum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4, the negative 1, negative. So you will somewhere get it at 7, 3 that the two will be intersecting. This will be your intersecting point. You will get your two lines because I have a 8, 2.
Mom, I had finished it. Can I show?
Yes, you can show, but what you show will not be very clearly visible. Just hold on, I will give you some time. I'll just show it here, then I'll give you. Who is this who wants to show?
Mom, Meghana.
Okay, just a minute. Just a minute, I'll give you the chance. Let me complete it here to make them understand how they have to show it here. I have a 6, 2 there in the second graph. Yeah, 6, 2. So somewhere here my line will be. So these are the two equations. You will approximately get it like this. Write the scale here in both the way I have taken 1 centimeter equals 1 unit. X-axis 1 centimeter equals 1 unit. Y-axis also 1 centimeter equals 1 unit. Now the first equation x plus y equals 10 is this. So write on this x plus y equals 10 and box it up neatly. And the second equation is x is equal to y plus 4. But also you will box it up neatly. The solution is this because this is where they are intersecting. So on the graph also you will write solution. Solution set is 7, 3. This also you will box it up in your graph sheet. Write it somewhere below neatly. Let it not interfere with your straight lines. Okay. So this is how you have to show it on your record. The scale should be there. The axis should be marked. The origin should be there. Neatly you should have labeled. You should have drawn the two lines. You will mark the ordered pairs everywhere. That I have not shown, but you have to show at least 3 ordered pairs for each straight line. Then don't forget to mark the equations on the straight lines. Both arrowheads because they are straight lines. Then the solution set. This much should be done for every graphical solution that you're doing. Yeah, Meghna, you can go ahead and show your graph. Meghna says she has completed. Let us see how she has completed. Meghna, you speak so that your screen is getting shared. Say at
Yes,
least
Mom.
a hello. Yeah. All right. No. Speak again.
Yes, Mom.
Okay, good enough. 7, 3 is the solution set. They intersect at 7, 3. So what is my solution actually? 7, 3 is fine. But what was asked? The question was not find the solution set. The question was find the number of boys and the number of girls who took part in the equation. So my x is the number of girls and y is the number of boys. So how will you report your answer? Hence the number of girls is 7 and the number of boys is. So you will write the answer as number of boys. Because y represents the boys is equal to 3 and number of girls, which is the x, will be 7. So there were 3 boys and 7 girls taking part in the quiz. So this is what which will earn you a 4 marks in the board exam. It is as simple as that, right? So take it down. All this is expected. The conditions will give you the equations. Once the equations are framed, you should find the ordered pairs, at least a minimum of 3 ordered pairs. Then when the ordered pairs are ready, take the graph sheet, plot the straight lines. Before you plot the straight lines, you can find out what is the condition of the consistency of the set of equations. If the A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, then you know you will get intersecting lines. Here I found out that A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. Hence, I'm going to get intersecting lines, I know. And this point where the two lines are intersecting will be the solution, or it will give you the value of x and y. So you must complete the solution set in the graph and also report the answer as what is x and what is y. So this will allow you to earn 4 marks in the board exams. So please see that you get it. Now we'll move on to the next set. So from the next set onwards, the graphical part I will not be taking care. You should be able to do it on your own. So we will go back and try to frame the equation. So go through the problem and try if you are able to understand the conditions given. We are in the second one. Now onwards, I'm just going to frame the equation. The graph is left to you. I don't think I need to be required to go and do it every time. Okay, let us see the second condition. 5 pencils and 7 pens together cost rupees 50, whereas 7 pencils and 5 pens together cost rupees 46. Find the cost of 1 pencil and that of 1 pen. So you know there are two different varieties of stationeries available. That is the pencils and the pen. Now the what is asked will become your variable. Find the cost of 1 pencil and that of 1 pen. So what is asked only you will should be able to take it as your variable. So assume let the cost of 1 pencil and 1 pen is given. Okay, 1 pencil will take. Cost of 1 pencil is rupees X and cost of 1 pen be rupees Y. So your X and Y is assumed. So if I want to buy 1 pencil, I have to pay X rupees, and if I want to buy 1 pen, I have to pay Y rupees. Now the condition says 5 pencils and 7 pens. So 1 pencil if it is X rupees, so my first condition will give me 7 pencils, so 7 times X, and 5 pens, 5 times Y. You understand? Why it is 7X and 5Y? 1 pencil is X rupees, means 7 pencils will be 7 into X. 1 pen is Y rupees, so 5 pens will be 5 into Y. So together the cost of both these 7 pencils and 5 pens will, sorry, 5 pencils.
5 pencils.
Sorry,
5 pencils and 7 pens.
5 pencils and 7 pens. Sorry. So that will cost rupees 50. So that is my first condition. So I got my first equation. The second condition given to me is I have to buy 7 pencils and 5 pens. Now it is 7X and 5Y. That will cost me rupees 46. So I got both my equation, right? So 5 pencils and 7 pens will cost me 50, whereas 7 pencils and 5 pens will cost me 46. So see if there is any common factor between the terms. No. So we have to write x in terms of y or y in terms of x. So let me take 5x equals 50 minus 7y. I'm just transposing. This is my first equation and this is my second. Because division by 5 is easier, I have just transposed it like this. So 50 minus 7y whole divided by 5. Now what you have to do? You have to give values for y and find the value of x. It involves subtraction followed by division. So there are 2-3 things that you have to do. It is not as simple as we did the previous problem. Right? So you have to substitute and find out. Maybe one value I will allow you to see here. Okay, so if y equals 0, then x will be 50 minus 7 into 0 divided by 5. So this is how you have to solve. So the 7 into 0 has become 0. So it is 50 by 5, which means my x becomes 10. So this is how you will give the values. So if I start with my y equals 0, my x happens to be 10. Like this, give other values for y and find out the value of x. Is that clear? So you should be able to complete it. Similarly, when I go to the second part, I clear it here. So my second equation I will transpose like this. Here also I will get y in terms of x. Why? Because division by 5 is easy. So I will write 5y equals 46 minus 7x, or my y equals 46 minus 7x divided by 5. So this is how I will transpose it. You may ask, why did you transpose y? I want to transpose x. You can do that also. Only thing, the division will be with respect to 7. Division by 5 is always easy. See, all these are small little arithmetic skills you must be able to know. It is not at all wrong if you are going to divide with 7. Please do it. If you are convenient, please do it that way. So now I'll show you one value here where I can give the value for x and find the value of y. Please be very careful what you are giving the value and what you are finding, and write the ordered pairs properly. X jagadali y bardu, y jagadali x bardre, no solution will happen. Is that clear? So please be very careful. Now here I am giving value of x. Say I start with if x is equal to 0. Then my y will be 46 minus 7 times 0 divided by 5. That will be 46 divided by 5. So which will be 5 9s of 45. So it may be a 9.2. I am getting a decimal. What to do? Because unless you have a number ending with 0 or 5 in the units place, it will not be divisible by 5. But definitely it is easier to divide with 5. I hope you are able to see. Alright, so let us find out the remaining values. Now your given value of x is 0 and your y has 9.2. 9.2 you can mark. See, only single decimal andre agutte. Because you have 1 centimeter equals 1 unit, you will have 0 to 1, 10 divisions. So 0.1, 0.2 till 1. Then 1, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, etc. till 2. So 1 decimal place, mostly you will be able to show if you take 1 centimeter equals 1 unit. So try this. Here the solution set, if you want, I will tell you what should be the solution set. The solution set will be a 3, 5. Yes, your solution set should be 3, 5. This is where the two lines will intersect. How will you make out whether the lines are intersecting or not? A1 by A2 will not be equal to B1 by B2. So find that out before you start. And after you find the graphical solution, that is the two straight lines, you will see that they will intersect at 3, 5. So what is your x? Your x is 3 and your y is 5. What is the assumption that I have made? Like a cost of one pencil. So cost of pencil is rupees 3. The cost of pen is rupees 5. Okay, so pen is rupees 3 and pencil is rupees 5. So this much you should be able to do. The graphical I am leaving it to you. Please plot it properly and complete it properly. I am not going to come back to the graphical solution again at all. That's why today's class also totally I am devoting only to graphical solution. Any doubt you can ask me please. Otherwise I proceed. I just wait for 1 minute here. If you have any doubt, please clarify. Don't ask me, madam, give me the remaining ordered pairs. I will plot. You have to find the ordered pairs. Yes, Samiksha.
Ma'am, if we get a bar and if we can we plot the estimated value in the graph?
Yeah, you can, but try avoiding an estimated value. There are so many values because division by 5, you will get a terminating decimal only. This is the reason. Yes.
Ma'am, if it, ma'am, in other problems, ma'am, if we get
If
a bar,
it is okay, I can understand. If it is unavoidable, yes, estimate the value. But for your level, I am telling you again, they are not at all going to complicate your work by giving a recurring decimal. You can always have the choice of getting an ordered pair without a recurring decimal. If nothing is possible, okay, as you said, we can write down or plot the estimated value of either x or y. All right. Anything else that you want to ask me?
no,
Okay.
ma'am.
Is the graphical solution clear? Okay. We will then move on. Look at the fourth question. We will discuss this quickly and move on. I want to do one more problem. That is the seventh one. Let me see if you can clearly tell me if you have understood what is the fourth one. Now the fourth question says, which of the following pairs of linear equations are consistent or inconsistent? If it is consistent, obtain the solution graphically. So it's very simple. Only when you get consistent, that is A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, intersecting lines will be there. So only if you get A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, you have to plot the graph. Otherwise, you can tell it is inconsistent and tell no graphical solution is possible. Because if they are parallel lines, there is no solution set at all. The lines will not intersect at all. So there is no solution for such equations. So look at the first one quickly and tell me what will be the condition. Will it be A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2?
Ma'am, inconsistent.
Yeah, the first equation seems to be inconsistent. So what you have to do? You have to draw the graph also and show where they are going to intersect. So that you can do. 2, 3 and 4. Find out whether they are going to be consistent, inconsistent. I think the second one will happen to be A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, which is equal to C1 by C2. So which condition is that then? It is coincident lines. This also you don't have to graph. Only when you have intersecting lines, you have to graph. Then the third one. Okay, where am I? Okay, well, sorry. I thought I was looking at the fourth one. I'm looking at the second one instead. Sorry. Yeah, the second set happens to be A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. No, they are not equal. Okay, so that is inconsistent. Correct. So they are a pair of parallel lines. What about the third one?
Ma'am, consistent.
Yeah. So the third one you have to draw the graph. So first and the third you have to draw the graph. Fourth one?
Inconsistent.
Yes, again it is inconsistent. So 1 and 3 you get this condition. A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. So you will get intersecting lines, you have to draw the graph. That is for first one and the third one. The second and the fourth you are getting the second condition. That is A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but it is not equal to C1 by C2. So they are going to be parallel lines which we don't require to be plotting it there. Now look at the seventh one. Yeah. Any doubt?
Ma'am, even first one is inconsistent. Ma'am,
Yeah,
dependent consistent.
1 and 3 is inconsistent. You have to draw the graphs. Now look at the seventh one. This I want you to do. That's why I'm discussing. The remaining you will be able to do. Draw the graph of the equations and determine the coordinate of the vertices of the triangle formed by these lines and the x-axis and shade the triangular region. So where did the triangle come from? That's what exactly you have to understand. There are two equations given already. So when you plot the graph, it may come out to be like this. So I'm just giving you a clue. You should be able to plot it graphically and find out. So there are two equations given. That is x minus y equals. So when I plot, it is x plus y. What is it? X minus y plus 1 equals 0. So maybe you will get it somewhere like this. I'm just guessing and telling you how it may look. Maybe it is x plus x minus 1. Also 1 it is same. So maybe it will cut across the y-axis like this. If this is your first equation, the second equation is saying it is 3x plus 2y minus 12 equals 0. I hope it will somewhere come like this. It may intersect like this. The second equation is 3x plus 2y minus 12. I'm not exactly doing it. I'm approximately telling you this is how it would come. So you see, there are two lines intersecting and the region between the two intersecting lines and the x-axis. So this is the region you have to change. You understand? Just do it like this. The x-axis, the first line and the second line. They will intersect like this and you will get a triangular region which they want you to shape. Apart from finding the intersection point, you need to find the triangular region which will be enclosed by these two straight lines and the x-axis. So this is what you have to complete as problem number 7. Now quickly I will look at problem number 5 also. I'm just giving you the clue as to how to frame the equation. because I have another 3 minutes more. Let me do it quickly. Half the perimeter of a rectangular garden whose length is 4 meters more than its width is 36 meters. Find the dimensions of the garden. It is a rectangular garden. So what is that you have to assume? Let the length be L and the breadth be B. Or if you think you want to take it in terms of X and Y also, no harm. You can tell, let the length be some X meters and let the width of the garden be Y meters. Then what is the condition given? First condition, half the perimeter of the rectangular garden whose length is 4 more than the width. So X will be Y plus 4. That will be your first condition. You understand that? X equals Y plus 4 because the length is, where shall I write? Shall I clear this part? Okay, this bottom part I clear. I don't want to waste time clearing. So the first condition says the length is 4 more than the width. My length I have taken as X. So X is 4 more than the width. Width I have taken as Y. What is the second condition? Half the perimeter. Half the perimeter of the rectangular garden is 36 meters it is given. So what is half the perimeter? What is perimeter? Perimeter
2 into
of
L plus
the
B.
2 times L plus B. So 2 times L plus B, that is X plus Y. Half of this is equal to 36. So this is your second equation. You understand? Half the perimeter. Perimeter is 2 times X plus Y or 2 times L plus B. Half of it means divided by 2 equals 36. So actually the equation will be X plus Y equals 36. So this is the first equation and this is the second equation. You have to graph them and find the solution. So I have lots of work waiting for you. You have so many graphs that you have to plot for this one day because we have a gap of almost one day. So complete this work and I will get back to you on Wednesday with the algebraic solution. So for now, I think I'm running on 39 minutes already. We will shut down here. And when we meet back on Wednesday, we will be starting with the algebraic solutions. So I'm not going to come back to the graphical anymore. Please see that you complete all your work and get fresh on Wednesday. Okay, so for now, it is a bye from here. You can go join your next class. Bye.
Mom.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.